Hey everyone, it's Jake here back with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to do a tutorial on the back panel of the Behringer XENYX X2442 USB mixer. Then I'll turn it around, hook something up to it, and we'll demo the sound afterwards. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so what you're seeing on the camera right now, so this is where your power supply goes. It's a Planet Earth power supply, so you know, that's the kind of power supply you want for a mixer. They're the best power supply you could have for a mixer. Okay, and then right here, that first switch is your power on and off. So flip it on and switch it off. Okay, and the switch next to it is your phantom power for condenser microphones. So that's on, that's off. Okay, and then I'll adjust the camera so we can see the inputs and outputs. So yeah, okay, so this does have Xlr outputs for your main speakers. I would recommend using Xlr if you can for your main speaker outs, because Xlr cables get hotter because of the preamp that they have, and you'll get high quality sound out of them, and it'll sound a lot better than a 1/4 inch. But if you don't have any Xlr cables, then there's a 1/4 inch left and right for your main outs right here. So if you have Xlr, I recommend using Xlr for your mains. If not, you can use 1/4 inch, that's fine. And so the top is your left for all of your speakers that you're going to hook up, and the bottom is your right for 1/4 inch and Xlr. Okay, and then next to the 1/4 inch main outs is the main ends. Now, I'm not quite sure what the main ends do, but I have tried it before, and it seems like they work as main outs for some reason. I don't know why, but I know the mixer does not have built-in speakers, so yeah, main ends, they must input something or output something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Okay, and then you have your 4 auxiliary sends right here. So this is for stage monitors and your effects. Now, if you look at auxiliary 3, I don't know if, yes, you can see the little icon. Okay, so on auxiliary 3, you see this little icon right here. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. Okay, well anyway, there's an icon right here. That says effects. So if you were to plug a stage monitor into auxiliary 3 or a external effects processor, that is going to turn off the internal effects processor on this mixer. So just be aware of that. You can use all 4 auxiliary sends, but once you plug something into auxiliary 3, it shuts off the built-in processor. Alright, so moving on, we have the control room right here. So that's going to be to plug in your studio monitors if you're going to record with this thing. So, like I said, so the bottom is your right monitor and the top is your left monitor for your studio monitors. So the control out is your studio monitors, okay? And then right here is your effects out. Now that is for an effects processor, I do know that. I don't use it for any effects processors because it works differently. I just use my auxiliary sends for the effects. So if you want to plug in the external effects processor and the effects out, that's what that's for external effects processing. And then below that, right here, that is to plug in a foot switch. So you can actually plug a foot switch into this and use a foot switch for the mixer. So that the foot switch is below the effects out. Okay. And then moving on, Alright. So, we'll start with the subgroups. So, these 8 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, those are your sub outputs. So, can you see all 8? Yeah. Okay, so these 8 outputs are your sub outputs. So that's going to send. So that's where you're going to hook up your speakers for your subgroups. So like if you have multiple keyboards and you want to send multiple keyboards to subgroups, let's just say 1 and 5, then they will go through the speakers. Or let's say you want to send a bunch of drums to, if you want to use all 8 for drums, you would just, well, not that one, but you would use all 8 of these for drums in. So that's the subgroup outputs. And then above, I'll try to get all 8. There we go. Okay, so this big row right here, these are your direct outputs. So that's where you're going to plug this mixer into a recorder, like a very old Tascam recorder, or the Tascam DP03SD, or the Tascam DP03. You would send plugs from these 8 outputs into that recorder. So like when you plug this from output 1 to the recorder, whatever's going through channel 1 will be recorded on track 1 of your recorder. And then if you have something plugged into direct output 2, whatever is going through channel 2 of the Behringer will go through track 2 of your recorder. And then for direct output 3, whatever is going into channel 3 on the Behringer will go into track 3 of your recorder. And then whatever is going through direct output 4, so whatever is going into channel 4 of the Behringer will go into the track 4 of your recorder. So you kind of get the point there. Okay. And then we have one more little section and then I will recap. So that is right there. So right here are your aux returns. So I do not use the aux returns for my effects because I've tried it before and it messed up my PA system. It made a weird noise that I did not like. So, but I have a different setup. So if you have the right setup, your auxiliary returns would be to plug in your output of your processor. So the auxiliary sends go out from the mixer into your processor, and then you go out of your processor into your mixer with the auxiliary sends. So yeah, there's left and right for these two. So you got 4 auxiliary returns for your effects to go back into this, and then the left and right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to turn the camera back over to the beginning. Okay, so the recap. We have your planet Earth power supply. And then you have your power on and off switch for the mixer. You have your power on and off switch for your phantom power for condenser microphones. And then over here you have your Xlr main outputs, which I recommend you use if you have Xlr cables with speakers that have Xlr inputs. And then you have your 1/4 inch main outs if you don't have Xlr inputs or Xlr cables. And then you have your 4 auxiliary sends for stage monitors or for external effects. Just remember, if you plug something into auxiliary 3, it shuts off the built-in effects processor. So you won't be able to use that if you have something plugged into auxiliary 3. Okay? And then next to the 1/4 inch main outs, you have your main ins, which I would think would input something, but they also sometimes work as main outs. So yeah. If you know what main ends does, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Okay, and then you got your control out for your studio monitors. So again, the top row is left, the bottom row is right for all these outputs for your speakers. So the top row is left, bottom row is right. So control out for studio monitors, left and right. Okay? And then you have your effects out for external effects processors. You know, if you want to add more effects to your mix or something. And then, so that's what that is, the effects out. And then right here, that is to plug in a foot switch. So below the effects out, that's where you plug in a foot switch to use for your music. Okay, so moving over just a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so right here are your 8 subgroups. So, you know, if, let's say for example, drum set, okay? Well, if you want to send your drum set to all the subgroups, like if you have a big drum set, then you could hook speakers, you could hook this mixer to speakers and use the subgroup faders to control the level going through the sub outputs of this mixer. So these are another set of speakers for subgroups. Okay? And then I'll try to get all 8 in a shot again. There we go. And then these outputs are your direct outputs for sending what's in here going into your recorder. So, like if you don't have Cakewalk or Logic or any of those, and you have a Tascam recorder or a 4-track or whatever, you will just plug in 8 different plugs into the direct outs, and the direct outs are only for the first 8 channels of this mixer, so the mono channels only. The stereo channels do not have direct outputs. They're only for the mono channels. So direct output 1, channel 1. Direct output 2, channel 2. Direct output 3, channel 3. Direct output 4, channel 4, and you get my point. But anyway, that's for sending whatever's going into this thing into your recorder. That has nothing to do with Cakewalk or Logic, Ableton, or any of those. So, yeah. And then I will get the auxiliary the auxiliary returns in the shot. Okay. And then we have your auxiliary returns. So, the auxiliary sends is sending your mixer out into your processor. Then you send your processor out and route it into the mixer. So this is bringing the effects back into the mixer. So left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So these are 4 different inputs for sending effects back into the mixer. And then there was one thing that I did not talk about, so I will go over and show it to you. Okay, so this thing right here, that's a USB. Okay, that's where you would plug this thing into a computer to record and play back what you've recorded. So this is my main mixer for recording. It sounds amazing, and yeah, so that is your USB for recording. Alright, so that is the back side of the mixer. So what I will do is I'm going to hook this up, and then we'll demo the sound. So let me do that real quick, and then we'll get right back into the tutorial. So yeah, let me do that real quick. Okay, so I have the mixer hooked up now. So I'm going to use one of my Halloween loops that I did last year to demo the sound for the first part, and I'll open up Cakewalk and I'll choose one of my tracks on there to demo the USB quality. So I'm going to go ahead and play the loop so you can hear how it sounds. So here we go. So, you know, like, I can adjust the bass. I can adjust the frequency. I can adjust the mids. And I can adjust the highs. Compression. And gain. So, that's what it sounds like. So it has some good quality. I'll play through some of it while I get the quality going. Okay, so that's the sound quality going right into the mixer. So that is pretty cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of my songs from Cakewalk, and I'll let you hear the quality of the USB. So here we go. Okay, so that is the sound quality of the USB output/input, because it is both. You can record and play back with the USB. So it's pretty high quality. As far as I've used it, it's pretty high quality. So yeah, the Behringer XENYX X2442 USB mixer is a great mixer. I would recommend it to anyone. And USB works great and all that. So yeah, that's it for this mixer tutorial. So if you found value out of this video, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any questions or concerns about the overall mixer. Please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification if you're new. Welcome to the channel. And yeah, I post videos like this every Thursday. And I will let you all know when I have a song to post. And so, yeah, please share this video with friends and family to give the video more exposure. And if you know someone who's looking for a mixer like this, feel free to share the video. And I will put some more videos on the screen somewhere in the cards above, so you can check out part 1 of this tutorial and some more videos. So I will see you next Thursday for another tutorial or review. Bye.